Caught up on your Roadrunner Sports. We're here at the Tivoli Tap House on the Aurora campus. Feel free to come by every Monday from 5:30 to 6 as we'll be here live. Simulcasting with the Met Sports Show, I'm Stephen Priest. Joining me today is Brandon Stowell to my right, Hector Venegas to my left. God, man, I am so out of breath. I did like a 40 back from the bathroom to make that time. Anyways, this is a basketball edition on the show today. We'll have both head coaches from the squads, Coach Tanya Javi and Derrick to tell us what they expect of the upcoming season, and sharpshooter Jenae Paine from your women's squad to tell us how she'll do this season and what she expects in her senior year. But before we get to all that, let's recap the action that was last weekend. After a 2-1 win over South Dakota Mines in Rapid City, South Dakota on Friday, Coach Jeremy Tittle and his squad took on 5th-ranked Regis on Sunday in Denver. Josh Belfridge netted his 7th and 8th goals of the season to tie the game at 2-2 in the second half, but the Rangers got a late goal in the 78th minute to squeeze out a 3-2 win over our Roadrunners. Now moving on to women's soccer. The women's soccer team was also on the road this past weekend. First head coach Adrian Peets got 2 goals from Elise Bernard to help lead her squad to the 2-0 win over the Cowgirls in Las Vegas, New Mexico, but couldn't find the back of the net in the 1-0 loss to Thunderwolves in Pueblo. Moving on to volleyball, the squad went 2-0 on the weekend, defeating UCCS Colorado Springs and Westminster College to remain perfect at 7-0 in the RMAC. Senior Michaela Smith has 15 kills on Friday, while senior Brandy Torr dished out 41 assists on Saturday. Moving on to tennis, the men's and women's team ventured to Grand Junction for the Colorado Mesa Duels on day 2. The women defeated the Mavericks for the first time since head coach Daniel Hangsteffer has been the coach. The Roadrunners swept Mesa in doubles matches while taking 3 of 6 in singles play. The men fell by the slimmest of margins to the Mavericks, 5-4. And finally, golf. Team finished 10th at the West Texas A&M Stampede in Amarillo, Texas. Head coach Ben Porty was led by his freshman Jennifer Hankins and his junior Meg McCullen, who both shot a 77 on day 2, finishing a tie for 27th as individuals. But joining us on the show today is head coach for your men's basketball team, Derrick. He enters his 7th season at the helm of the Roadrunners. He has a career record of 156 wins, just 37 losses, and has won 3 RMAC regular season championships, 2 RMAC tournament championships, and was named Division II's Coach of the Year in 2012. Coach, thanks so much for taking out the time to join us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Get you got up. There we go. 7 years, Coach. Tell me how fast it has gone. Has it gone fast for you?
It's like a blink of the eye, you know. I could remember, coming from CU in that first year, and it's been a blur since then.
Now, talk about how exciting it is for a coach. You know the season's just around the corner. It's been a long off season. Talk about how exciting this time is for you and your squad.
Well, it's finally a chance to get over the off season, your last game. I mean, us coaches, we get hung on that last game until we get an opportunity to play again. But it's exciting. The guys are excited. We just finished about 7 weeks of preseason conditioning, getting guys in shape, getting the new guys adjusted, and it's time to start putting some opponents in front of us.
Now let's talk about last season a little bit. You guys finished 19-11, 10-4 in the RMAC, making a return appearance to the RMAC tournament up in Fort Lewis last year. We went up there to cover you guys for that. Talk about the year that was last year. Kind of a disappointing ending, but with, I believe it was 10 new players you guys had last year, it was still a great year. Yeah,
we had a lot of turnover, and it just takes time when you have that many new guys. And as much as you want to accelerate the process, you just can't do it. They need experience. And The thing is, you got guys coming from all different backgrounds that have been coached by different people. And it just takes a lot of time to get them on the same page. I think the last 3 or 4 weeks we were playing really good basketball, and we needed a couple more weeks.
Now, we have some exciting events coming up for the Roadrunner community. We have the luncheon on Wednesday where a few teams, coaches, players get to speak at the luncheon for that. That is Wednesday, Blake Street Tavern at noon. Then the 2nd annual Rowdy at the Regency will take place Thursday at 8 p.m. Tell us in the audience about these events and what you hope to bring out to the crowd for that.
Well, the tip-off luncheon is the first year that we're going to do that. We're doing it obviously with 3 other schools, with Colorado Christian, Mines, ourselves obviously, and Regis University. And I think it's a great idea. It's an opportunity to drum up some interest in RMAC basketball and the start, and hopefully fans will come out. They'll get to hear from respective teams, players, and it's a nice little shot in the arm before we get going.
Right.
Now, with 6 new players on the squad, what can you tell us about some of the new recruits, and also what are some of the traits that you are looking for in the recruits?
Well, you know, we had a slip last year defensively. We didn't play road runner defense for most of the season last year, and so we tried to address some of those needs with some perimeter players. Cameron Williams is a Division I transfer, who's one of a typical Metro State guard, stocky, strong, athletic. Alec Williams is a true freshman who has an opportunity to come in, and he'll push for a starting position, believe it or not. Very talented. He's just got to understand how to play hard on every possession, which young guys do, you know. But, you know, we got a nice infusion of returners, and the core of your team is going to be returners, guys that have had 1 year experience to 3 years experience. Those guys know, and so they'll help the newcomers. But we do have some newcomers that are going to come in and help us right away.
Now, Tony Dobinson was a first-team all-conference guard for your squad as a senior. Who do you hope steps up into his role?
Well, you know, we had a kid named Sunday Detch sitting out last year who was able to practice, but he couldn't play in the games due to some eligibility stuff last year. He's an instant impact guy right now. If we had him on that roster last year, we would have looked a little bit different. He's 6'4", he's one of those big wings, can do a little bit of everything. He, you know, rebounds it, can score, can guard 1 through 4. Now, you know, I don't want to raise the expectations over the moon, but we're expecting great things out of him.
Now you have some talented bigs coming back for this year in Bunama Keita and Andre Harris. What are you expecting from them this season? You
know, take the next step. A guy like Andre Harris, he had a slow start, and that was kind of symbolic of our team. We had a slow start in the beginning, and then Dre, about the last third of the season, we kind of saw what he was capable of doing. He could rebound the ball with the best of them and scores inside. But he had a great summer, and so we're expecting him to have a fast start this year and have a great year. He's a candidate to be first-team all-conference. And then with Bunama, we know that we saw it in stretches last year. He can affect the game in a big way defensively. He's one of the best shot blockers in our league, so we're looking for him just from day one to be consistent.
And then, Coach, going back to Sunday real quick, what are some expectations, some reality expectations for him? I know you talked to him a little bit, but what do you expect from him?
From Bunama?
No, from Sunday Deck.
I tell you, you know, we're expecting him to fill the stat sheet up, you know, and I mean, a typical game for Sunday we're hoping would be, and I'm throwing numbers out there, but 15 points, you know, 9 rebounds. He can rebound the ball at 6'4", you know, 4 or 5 assists, and just be very disruptive on the defensive end, you know. But he's a guy that can do a lot of things, you know, in the motive of Mitch McCarron, who affected the game in a lot of different ways. It wasn't just scoring.
Coach, when you look at this squad and how things, I've been covering you guys for 2 years, and I can tell there's sort of a way you like to play. What is the philosophy, if you could explain it to the audience who haven't been out to see you play? I know you love that press, you love the defense, you love the guards to get in people. Talk about the aggression and philosophy you like to instill in your squad.
Well, we like to force the action. In order to be a good defensive team, specifically a good pressing team, you have to score. So you set your defense. You know, the ball has to go through. So we have to be better offensively. We shot 44% from the field, and that's not good enough if you really want to be a good pressing team. But we want to press the tempo. You know, we want to play fast in transition. And saying that, we take care of the basketball. We take great pride. We've been in the top 7 or 8 in terms of turnovers per game every year we've been here. So we don't want to be careless, but, you know, we want to get out. We want to score points. And then on the flip side of it, we want to press, we want to create turnovers that lead to easy baskets. And this year, you know, I think one of the strengths of our team is going to be, you know, how many perimeter guys we can play. We easily have 7 or 8 that in the rotation, and we don't get a big drop off there.
Well, Coach, we want to thank you for joining us. We know that your first practice starts October 15th. You also start on the road for that classic out in California, I believe the 4th to the 6th, right?
Yeah.
So we look forward to watching you guys this year. We're always pumped for Roadrunner basketball, so best of luck to you guys this season.
Well, thank you guys for doing what you do. I think this has been a great idea, and I've heard very positive raves by what you guys are doing with this.
We try. Thanks, Coach, so much.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, stay right here on the Coach's Corner, as up next we'll be joined by women's head coach Tanya Javi. She'll give us her thoughts on the upcoming season.
Dobinson stops on a dime, now to Cortez. The Cortez beating, count the bucket, and foul.
If you can't get enough of MSU Denver sports, then you need to tune in to the Roadrunner Review. Get into the game with exclusive highlights, interviews, player stories, and of course the top plays that will have you jumping out of your seat. You can catch all the action on Comcast CET and at RoadrunnersAthletics.com.
Hey, nice shot! Great spot!
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Brought to you by your #1 volume Nissan dealer, Tynan's Nissan. Come in today and choose from nearly 1,200 new Nissans. Get 0% for 72 months with no payments for 90 days. During the Bottom Line event, lease the new Altima for only $149 per month. Gives you both efficiency and performance. Looking for an SUV? Then choose the all-wheel drive Rogue at just $159 per month. Also available with optional third-row seat. Bottom Line savings at Tynan's Nissan in Aurora and Fort Collins.
Here on the Roadrunners Coaches Corner, being simulcast with the Met Sports Show. Just want to remind you, make sure to keep up with all Roadrunners Athletics at roadrunnersathletics.com. But we got to get back to it. Basketball edition. Now we're joined by head women's coach, Coach Tanya Javi, going into your 6th or 7th season?
7th season.
7th season, Coach. Tell me, has it gone by a little bit fast for you?
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. It seemed like it was last week that I was just starting our first season.
Flown by for you?
Flown by.
Talk about your time here at Metro, though. What do you love about the school, the program, that in your time here?
From a university-wide standpoint, our profile as a university has just exploded. And, you know, give Dr. Jordan a lot of credit, but also everybody that works here at the university. But what a niche for the students that we have. And we've got, you know, right downtown Denver as our playground for business people or anybody, really any major that you've got. It's such a great, what a great location that we've got. So,
yeah, no kidding, with the skyline and everything. It's a great atmosphere, Pepsi Center, Mile High.
Yeah, and you just think about the buildings, the hotel, the space building going up, the student success, you know, all that stuff. The rack, you know, for athletics, the improvements to our gym. So it's just been a great experience for me to be here and have a chance to really have some continuity with this program.
No doubt. And you mentioned the improvements to the facilities. You made some improvements to the team. I'm sure with some of the recruits. We noticed you got some 6-footers coming in, some taller ladies. Talk about what was the mindset going into this recruitment offseason. What were you kind of targeting? And maybe talk about a little bit, if you can, the recruits that you got coming in.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it was pretty evident by about mid-season that our depth in the post, it was clearly an issue. We were just undersized, and we've been undersized before where we were able to overcome that. But the league has changed, the program's changed, so we needed to address, we clearly were addressing our post issues. So we signed all inside players, 5'11" and above. So the first one would be Jenae Wellington, 5'11" freshman from Fresno, California, who is ultra athletic. You'll see a lot of her. She's going to be a lot of fun to watch. She's going to run track here also.
Okay.
But just so refreshing in terms of her attitude. She's like a sponge soaking everything up. So you know, in this first year, she's pretty raw skill-wise, so she needs some development there. But I can see her defending, a lot of rebounding and running the floor for us. So we're really excited for her. The other two additions, we've got 6'2", post player Danielle Palmer, junior college transfer from San Francisco City College.
Okay.
Very skilled, huge, very high basketball IQ. So that's really going to help us in the post. And all the girls, they all say to me, "Oh, we love playing with her. We love playing with her." Reads the double team very well. great shooter, good hands, good skill, just very smart basketball player. And then Lakin Koski, she's a 6'1" sophomore from Rochester Community College in Minnesota.
Okay.
Really hard worker. She's been we've had her a little nagging ankle injury, so she hasn't played as much in the preseason, but she's going to be able to defend and rebound for us. So we feel like we've really addressed some of our needs to go with, a really strong core that we've got.
Now, you bring back 9 players from last year's team, a lot of those girls having played together since they were freshmen. How much of a luxury is that as a head coach?
It's just huge. You can just see it in the preseason. You say, okay, we want to do this. They know what to expect. They know that they need to be there early. They know that they need to have a positive attitude. They can talk to each other. They can help with 9 newcomers and then 3 or 4, we've got another walk-on that's on the team. They can tell them, okay, this is what you do. They teach them what we're doing, what it is that Metro State basketball is all about. So it's been huge luxury.
Also, what is the message to those Roadrunners that they know the system? They know Roadrunner basketball. What's the message that you're sending to them?
So it's a great question. You must have been listening in the locker room today. So we had a meeting. So we're starting practice this week, and we talked about that because last spring we went over that of what our core values were. So you'll kind of like this. It's a kind of a play on the words, but we've got 3 words that WTF. So it's probably not what you think that is,
right.
But the W stands for work, the T is trust, and the F is family. So we're kind of playing on that. They loved it. So those are those core values. And then we've got some other words like investing in your team, trusting and the family, the unconditional love that your teammates are going to have for each other. The work, the physical work, the mental work, and the emotional effort. So those are some of those core values. So your question couldn't have come at a better time.
And then, Coach, just some other events going on. You have the luncheon and the Rowdy Experience coming up this week. Just a little bit of words on that and what can we expect from
Well, we're really excited about Wednesday for the first time. In fact, the NCAA tweeted out about it last week that it's a really rare event that our 4 schools in one city in Division II are having a tip-off luncheon. I don't think they do it anywhere else in Division I. I know when I was in San Francisco, they did the Bay Area. So we're having a tip-off luncheon with all the men's and women's programs from Metro, Mines, Colorado Christian, and Regis that we're going to just try and create some excitement for the season. So excited about that. And then we got Rowdy at the Regency on Thursday night. Dunk contest, 3-point contest. I guess DC and I are going to be the dunk judges.
Dunk
contest
It was
judges.
definitely fun for us last year to be a part of that. It was a great atmosphere.
Yeah, you guys, I thought it was a really great, for the first time, I thought it was really awesome.
And then, coaches, real quick, Jenae Paine, we have her coming up next, but she's been in your system for a couple years now. What can you expect from her this season?
Just a lot of leadership. Jenae, a senior shooter, she's just got an impact. Her impact is going to be from her shooting, long-range shooting, and just her leadership, and again, knowing what we expect, helping other girls through that transition process, but mostly a lot of leadership from her.
Are you going to dunk, Coach?
Am I going to dunk? You would be lucky right now if I could get a credit card under my jump. I used to be able to dunk a volleyball way back when, but
there you go.
I'm going to have the cards up and just give everyone tips, probably.
Well, Coach, we want to thank you for taking out the time to join us. We look forward to the start of the season. Hopefully this is the year that we can make that push, take that step, and we are excited for the season. We can't wait to let you guys.
Thank you. We're really excited, and thank you for all that you do, and I think we're going to make that push. Our players are ready, and I think we're ready.
We'll be watching.
Thank you for all you do also.
Yeah, no problem. That is Coach Tanya Javi of your women's basketball team. Don't you go anywhere, though, as up next we'll be joined by sharpshooter Jenae Paine from the same squad. You don't want to miss what she has to say going into her senior season.
The Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference is committed to sportsmanship.
We take pride in the conduct of our student athletes and coaches.
And ask that everyone, coaches, athletes, and spectators, treat opponents and officials with respect.
We encourage you to cheer for your favorite team.
Unruly, threatening, or obscene behavior will not be condoned.
Thank you for your cooperation and support.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, than the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Hi, this is Wellington Webb, former mayor of Denver, Colorado from 1991 to 2003. I was so pleased to receive an honorary doctorate from Metro State University. It's been a great highlight of my life. And I also want to take this opportunity to say happy birthday to you on your 50th anniversary.
Are you a college student that needs a place to live? Are you still living with your parents and want your own space? The Regency Student Housing is perfect for you. The community offers many amenities such as a fitness center, 2 basketball courts, big screen amphitheater, all-you-can-eat dining hall, bowling alley, arcade, free parking, and a shuttle to and from the Auraria campus. For more information, please call 303-477-1950 or visit our website at regencystudenthousing.com.
Roadrunners Coaches Corner final segment, and we gotta save probably the best for last. Sharpshooter Jenae Paine. We've had her on the show a few times. Good friend of ours. Thanks so much for taking out the time to join us. How you doing tonight?
No, I'm doing good. Thanks so much for having me back. I mean, I must be doing something right. It's every year you guys pick me up one way or another.
We gotta get you back because you're always great to us. So it's great to have like an insider on the team. We feel like, but no, thanks so much for taking out the time. You're a senior now.
I know.
Talk about how much this time has kind of flown by, or did it kind of go in slow-mo for you?
Oh, no. Flown by is an understatement. Right. I would say that it seems like just yesterday I was a freshman and Coach was recruiting me, and then, all of a sudden my age catch-ups with me, and senior gets titled, and, there it is.
Now you're the old vet on the squad, right?
I really am. I am.
Talk about your time here at MSU Denver. I know you're from Oregon, so the transition you had to make. Talk about just your time here, what you've liked about being here at the university, the program, and how you've tried to help it grow.
Oh gosh, I would say that first off, Denver definitely has a little piece of my heart. Definitely, I started off saying I'm beginning to love Denver, but now it's kind of just like, it's home.
Right.
Like I'm here 9 months out of the year.
But as I asked you, Denver, you've been here a while.
Yeah.
Has a piece of your heart. We're glad to hear that it's home. You've definitely been fun to watch. But tell me, from your years here, you got to have a favorite moment from the squad.
There's always one moment, right?
What if you could narrow it down to one? What are you gonna choose?
Like a game moment or like locker room moment, or like doesn't really
locker
matter?
room, maybe road trip, whatever you can tell us.
I gotta say, I want to say it was freshman year when Shadron still had kind of the more barn, old-looking. It was an away game.
Okay.
And, you're driving in the bus, and you're looking out to your left and your right, and there's nothing out there. I'm like, Coach, where are you taking me? Like, right. I'm a freshman. You taking me to my deathbed? What's going on? And, we get into the game, and we're down by halftime at like 17 points. And I just remember Coach ran Duke. It's a play for a shooter.
Right.
And she ran that my way 4 times in a row, and I hit 4 in a row. And after the game, I wasn't even expecting like anybody to say anything or anything like that. And Coach just came up to me and she was like, "Yeah, I knew you had it in you." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." Like, as a little freshman, like, okay, I have to say that was probably one of my bigger moments as far as like, I was kind of new to the program. I was a baby, away game, and that really gave me, I look back at that day, that gave me truly the spark to be like, I can hang with this conference, I can hang with this team, I fit in well with this, with everything that Coach Haave put together. So I have to say that's probably one of my favorite moments because all my teammates were just going crazy. It was awesome.
Now tell me, what are your personal goals this year? How do you want to go out? Do you have any specific things you want to accomplish, or what can you do to make this a lasting year for you?
For me, definitely make the RMAC tournament.
Okay.
I want to, if not win the RMAC tournament. I'm not trying to get ahead of myself one thing at a time. Personal goals, I would say, yeah, shooting's going to come, on and off. But, Coach has kind of been picking at me the last couple years. But, hey, Jenae, if you could rebound, you're a pretty good rebounder. Like, what's up with that? So I'm like, hey, if I have, 10, 15 points, maybe get 4 or 5 boards.
Right.
So that's kind of a personal goal I've set is definitely rebound. But just continuously having, whenever I'm on the floor, my presence on the floor, off the floor. I mean, I just said it wrong, but really have a presence if I'm on the sidelines, if Coach takes me out for a couple minutes, or I'm on the court. Just always feel like that the team is not, doesn't know what they're doing, or just, any little thing I can do to really feel like to hold it together and just so we can be more smoother.
Gotcha.
That's probably my ultimate goal as a senior is, all the rough patches have happened, but just kind of be more smoother. So.
Okay.
Now, 9 of you returned from last year's team. In fact, a lot of you have played together for a couple of years.
Yeah.
How much does that experience help during the game?
Gosh, I mean, we haven't played any games yet, but just, the newcomers that have come on, we have about 4 newcomers, and when Coach kind of divides us up and you have all kind of the ones that have played together, the new girls are like, holy cow, like what, like... what? Like, I'm like, yeah, no, I mean, it's crazy. Like, it's that little thing of like, oh, you think you're gonna play together when you're together and, you've known each other for a couple years, but it's huge. Like, just even preseason playing open gyms, I'm just like, where was this, the last 3 years? But it comes with time. It comes with knowing that person. And no, I'm really excited.
And then, Jenae, what's life after graduating?
What's life after graduating? What's the plan?
WNBA draft? Or
oh, no. I gotta, I can't, make anybody look bad in the pros. I gotta retire now, right? No, actually, so I have a job lined up.
Okay.
June 1st. It's an apprenticeship with the company of Staples, so like the Staples Center,
right?
But it's the executive side.
Oh.
So I'll be part of a sales apprenticeship team, and I'll be one of the marketing analysts, marketing researchers.
There you go.
And I actually start that apprenticeship June 1st through June 1st up in Broomfield. Yeah, so I'll be in Colorado for another year, whether I like it or not. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Congratulations, though.
Thank you. No, thank you. I'm really excited about it, and so yeah.
Well, we're going to enjoy your final season here. We're definitely excited for the season to get going. We can't wait to see what you guys do. We're going to be rooting for you as always. But thanks so much for taking out the time. It's always a joy to talk to you.
No, thanks so much, guys, for having me and the new faces, and I love it. So, yeah, thanks so much.
Good. Of course. Well, that is Jenae Paine, women's basketball player. We can't wait to see what they have. But we mentioned that they started practice, them and the men, but there were some other teams in action. Let's get to that right now. After coming off a weekend where the men's soccer team took on South Dakota Mines and Regis, they again will take on South Dakota Mines and Regis, but this time at home. First, it's the Hard Rockers on Friday at 7 p.m. at the Regency Athletic Complex. It's parents and family night for our student athletes. Then on Sunday, it's senior day for the men's soccer team. We'll honor 8 seniors for the red and blue, and they'll look to take down 5th-ranked Regis at 1 p.m. Women's soccer has just one opponent on the schedule. Coach Adrian Peets and her squad will head north to take on Black Hill State in Spearfish, South Dakota on Sunday at 1 p.m. And it's time to get hyped for the new basketball season this Thursday at the Regency Student Housing at 8 p.m. The men's and women's basketball teams will hold a 3-point contest and a dunk contest, while there be giveaways and a chance for a lucky fan to hit a half-court shot with a prize of $10,000. I got to get in on that one.
We'll be there.
I've been working on my shot, too.
You don't count. It's absolutely free, open to the public. Our volleyball team continues on the road this weekend, first heading to Las Vegas, New Mexico to battle New Mexico Highlands on Friday, then back at it for Colorado for a match against CSU Pueblo on Saturday. So make sure you come out to all the games this weekend to support the Roadrunners, and if you can't, keep up with all the teams at roadrunnersathletics.com. That's going to do it. We again apologize for the technical difficulties. Hector over here pressing all the dang buttons again. We got to keep his hands away. But no, we want to thank you for joining us on the Roadrunners Coaches Corner. We'll be back at it same time, same place next week here at the Tivoli Tap House. We'll see you next time.